talk about Australia's intent to destroy. And the evidence of that starts with the idea of terra nullius. Terra nullius is a legal fiction on which this country is founded. Its constitutions, its institutions, everything about it is founded on the basis that average people didn't exist or didn't have rights as human beings. As far as I'm concerned, Australia is a crime scene. Australia is a crime scene. Australia is a crime scene. And that crime is a premeditated criminal act of genocide. And that makes the people of Australia living off the proceeds of that crime. And I think that people should do something about it. And the way forward in this country is to obviously do that treaty business. A treaty is a healing document. Creates a proper legal foundation of law. Terra nullius and native title, or as I call it, naive title, are inappropriate. They were made by the courts in this country and were applied retrospectively to Aboriginal people going back 200 years. It's a whole litany of intent to destroy issues through Australia's history. Sovereignty. Our sovereign countries are situated in geographic Australia. Our sovereign laws govern our lands and people. No consent. The United Kingdom of Great Britain ordered James Cook of the Royal Navy, with the consent of the natives, to take possession of convenient situations in our countries in the name of the King of England. And the particulars of that are the Admiralty orders issued 30th July 1768. No such consent was ever given or sought. Genocide and crimes against humanity are still today being committed against us. There is no peace treaty. The United Kingdom of Great Britain ordered the Commander-in-Chief, Arthur Phillip, to apply the rules and disciplines of war to our lands and waters. Particulars King George III Commission, 12th of October 1786. No détente or other end of hostilities have ever been proclaimed, and no peace treaty have ever been made or sought. This war, declared or undeclared, continues to this day with genocide, war crimes and crimes against humanity committed against us. No prevention of genocide. And the whole idea of the Genocide Convention was about the word prevention and punishment of genocide. Now, people can't tell me that genocide was prevented in this country since 1949, when Australia was ordered to legislate against genocide. Prevented. Hasn't been prevented. Stolen generations is an issue of genocide. Stolen generations. Creating the conditions of life with the intent to destroy, like reservation, welfare control of average people, preventing births in the group and causing serious mental harm in the group. Now this is where the argument is for me in this country. How could you be a civilised society if you can't prevent the act of genocide in your country? Australia's got no jurisdiction. You don't get jurisdiction by murdering and thieving. It's the proceeds of crime we're talking about here. And these issues need to be dealt in a legal situation, a court of law. You won't find a court of law in Australia. It's built on terra nullius, lies, deceit and indoctrination. That's what we're coming from. That's why Australia is so backward in terms of its relationship with the Indigenous people. Truth's a hard thing to swallow. That's what we need to do. The truth is also a weapon. And in this country, the land of lies, the truth is a weapon of mass destruction. And so is education. And it disturbs me what's happening in education in this country. The fact that Aboriginal people are the most researched, documented, measured people on the face of the earth. Nobody in this country knows very much about us. What's going on? Is it the vested interests? Is it the denialism? Is there a mental blockage here? Now this denialism is the problem that Aboriginal people have. We think that there's a psychological problem at a national level. People can't deal with reality. But we don't need this deluded superiority complex that we have to put up with daily. We know how to look after our own selves. We were self-determined. We had organised, stable, socially organised societies right through this continent, of which there was many black nations, all with their own sovereignty. And our process of law are through our elders who sit in council, who are bloodline back to that territory. There's no other way. That's the way it was in the beginning, and that's the way it will be in the end for us too. Whitefellas law is inferior to our law. It's a backward dark age law. It's built around greed, selfishness. Our law is about sharing, caring and looking after this land. We have a custodian and caretaker role. We are the legal authorities in this land. We are the legal authorities in this land. It's about time people took heed of that and respected it. Stop paying your taxes to these terrorists. You call it a government. You're funding terrorist organisations as far as I'm concerned. And if you analyse it legally, you'll agree. There's no prevention of genocide. The United Kingdom of Great Britain ordered Commander-in-Chief Arthur Phillip to cause those who wantonly destroy the natives to be brought to punishment according to the degree of the offence. Well, how would that apply to Mr Hurley, who murdered our brother there in Palm Island? And this has been going on since day one, the murder of Aboriginal people. It wasn't really a case of murder, they reckon. It was an unlawful killing. That's how they described the killing of Aboriginal people through the past. This has been going on. Aboriginal people are a very small population here, a small minority. And to lose any one of our people hurts us immensely. And it's continued to happen over the last 240 years. No one in this country has ever been punished or prosecuted for the crime of genocide against us. The Commonwealth of Australia is demonstrably unwilling and unable to stop and prevent this genocide, and accordingly, the International Criminal Court has jurisdiction to investigate and prosecute top government officials as key perpetrators in offences of genocide, war crimes and crimes against humanity. The International Court of Justice has jurisdiction to determine whether the Commonwealth of Australia is in breach of international law by failing to enact domestic legislation adequately and generally preventing and punishing genocide. I've never accepted, I'm not an Australian citizen. I don't like the idea of calling myself an Australian alien anyway. I've got an identity and a culture, language and all those things. And the idea of assimilating is probably, to me, is like the worst form of genocide that there is. It's been made to be something that you despise the most. And that's probably the situation that average people are in. We're not that impressed with white fellas and their technological and their civilisation and their Christianity. In fact, we ain't seen none of that stuff. Where is the Christianity? Where is the civilisation? It's more like the barbarians, thieves.